I'm in rural China, staying at this hotel where nothing seems to work like you'd expect. And it has a bathroom like this, with a shower head that moves all by itself. And the squatting toilet doubles as a drain. And yet, when I open that window, I know I'm at the right place. I'm here for a reason. Let me tell you why. Hidden on a mountain in Guizhou is the remote village of Taili. Most of its residents are of the Miao minority group, a people known for many things, including their unique wooden architecture, beautiful clothing, and this musical instrument called the Lusheng, which you'll hear plenty of a little later. But Taili is a pretty humble place, and for years I've heard of rural villages like this being lifted out of poverty. But what does that actually look like for the young people of the village? What is being done to help prepare them for the future? I thought I'd never find out. But then I had a conversation with a friend of mine who's a respected soccer educator here in China, who seems to think that this sport has something to offer the young students here. I'm skeptical about the whole thing, so when he invited me to join a soccer clinic there, I couldn't say no. What opportunity does soccer present to the students of Taili? I'm about to find out. It all started when I took the train from Shenzhen to Guizhou, where I met up with my friend. His name's Kid. We made it! Good to see a friend. And he wasn't alone. The whole trip was part of a clinic he had planned, where coaches from all over China could learn from him while also donating their time to the students of Taili. But the journey wasn't over yet. We had 2 more hours to go. And as Kid talked to his friend in the front seat, I started noticing fewer buildings, and the bumps in the road got more intense. Yeah, this road needs some improvement, and it's getting it. There was lots of construction. I think the road to Taili will be a lot smoother pretty soon. Getting closer, I thought about how I would capture this video. I had a vision of being the behind-the-scenes camera person, not interfering in any way. Then we finally arrived at the elementary school. School was out for the day, and these kids were playing the Lusheng, while the coaches were filling up brand new soccer balls. Meanwhile, I was a little busy being swarmed by curious children. And all of them were staring at me. So much for being that behind-the-scenes camera guy. I'm guessing they've never seen a foreigner before. Watching these kids stare at these soccer balls made me remember why I was there in the first place. Could this sport really make a difference in their lives? I wasn't so sure. The next day after the students arrived, the weather began doing this, which made soccer impossible for now. So while the students did their regular classes, Kid and the coaches had their own class in the teacher's lounge. It struck me how seriously they took what Kid was saying. His method of coaching seemed to mean a lot to them. Here, soccer wasn't just a game. It was something much more than that. And it made me want to get to know these coaches better. But I didn't even know their names yet, which was about to change. Kid brought me in for one of those name game icebreakers, forcing everybody to learn everyone's name. This is going to take a while. Finally, we got it. And the coaches didn't feel like strangers anymore. The rain finally let up, but Kid told me there was something he needed to do. At first, I didn't really know what was going on. But when all these boxes showed up, it became clear. It was time to hand out some swag, which is something you see a lot of when people travel to rural places. And I never quite know how to feel about it.
好，排队的时候别打起来，面朝这边，面朝这边就行，别打起来啊。
But it was all part of the experience, and these kids loved it. I mean, look at those big smiles on their faces. Finally, it was time to get students and coaches on the field. It was fun to see everyone do their thing. The coaches coaching, and the students were learning. Many of them were already pretty good. I was really impressed with the coaches, who somehow were able to keep these kids engaged with what was happening. And if they weren't coaching, they were critiquing each other, along with Kid on the sideline. And I was running around like a crazy person on the field. I'm glad no one was critiquing what I was doing. Then again, maybe they were. I had plenty of followers during the breaks.
What's your name? Your name?
My name is
Guan Jingren? Oh, how? Hello, Guan Jingren. Hello, 很高兴认识你.
I think it's time for me to hide in the teacher's lounge.
Everywhere, there's something cool going on. Fixing tractors. Apparently we're going to somebody's home for dinner. I am not informed at all. I have no idea what will be served or what it will be like.
But I was about to find out. Walking through the village for a few minutes, we finally came across this place. A small storefront and home where a local had prepared dinner. But some of the dishes were a mystery to me. Especially this green one. So I reluctantly tried a very small piece.
Niubie,
It's not
泡生肉。
something I'd eat every day. Very special.
In other words, I didn't like it. Later, I found out more about this local dish, called Niubie. It's made from the filtered digestive fluids of cows, and it didn't taste great to me. But there was plenty of other stuff to eat, and I was blown away by this local's generosity. Such a generous place. It blows my mind how even in a remote place like Taili, there are this many kids, and even the youngest want to be a part of the soccer clinic. I wonder how that's going to work out. Before the next session, Kid pulled me aside and told me that I needed to stay out of sight for this one. The reason? These were the kindergartners. And I totally understood. Young kids like this can get very distracted. But I wanted to get a few shots anyway. And hiding behind a wall seemed like a good way to do it. At first, the kids seemed a little nervous, but that quickly changed. I mean, how could you be nervous with a coach as fun as this? For the most part, all the kids were super engaged, but one girl did start to cry. And then immediately rejoined the fun. And I wasn't the only one hiding from view either. To the coaches, everything's a learning opportunity. And they were all so cute. I'm very curious what these little ones will become someday. And for that matter, I'm curious what they'll all become. But I'm still fuzzy on how soccer can help them as they get older. So I decided to ask Kid about it.
Every coach is trying to achieve that goal, which is they could teach the kids something in life through football, which would be try to be tough, be bold, be brave, be enthusiasm, and try to encourage each other, understand each other, and try to stand up when you fail, something like that. So everyone who is a coach, is wishing to do something like that. Yes.
It sounds like there are a lot of life lessons you can learn from soccer, but in Taili, I feel like there's more to it than that. I need to think about this. I started wandering around the school and stumbled on these ladies preparing lunch for the students. And I got a little mesmerized by what they were doing. I guess what struck me about it is it looked like hard work, and I respected their dedication. And that dedication is something I kept seeing by the staff and teachers here. Then again, how could you not want to help out these adorable kids? After lunch, the kids take something called a shoshi, or break. But I don't really do naps, so I took the time to keep walking around. I started thinking about the young students again, and what life is like in an isolated village like this. And it seems like an incredibly tight-knit community.
I'm gonna go help them.
But with no middle school or high school in Taili, I was curious what was next for their education. Because the truth is, everyone needs a little help achieving their goals. Over the past few days, I couldn't help but notice all the awards in the teacher's lounge. It seemed impressive for such a small school. I found out that Kid's friend, who we met in the car when we arrived, was responsible for many of them. He taught in Taili for 3 years, studied coaching in Europe, and now works as a women's soccer coach at a city 2 hours away. Of anyone, I thought he would know what soccer has to offer the students here. So I sat down for a chat with Coach Zhang.
我是在2020年的10月份到2023年的11月份，一直在这个台里小学当他们的语文老师，然后也当他们的足球教练。我来到这边之后，这些孩子他治愈了我。我想同样的能够去给他们一个不一样的未来，所以我想留在这边，尽我所能的去帮助他们。因为我在法国见过了很多阿拉伯人、黑人，他们都是通过体育改变了他们的人生。那我也想，在中国的这样的地方，其实我们也可能用体育的这一条路来改变他们的人生。所以这是我想能够一直让我坚持到现在的原因。
It's all starting to make more sense now, just as my time in Taili is coming to an end. As a way of saying goodbye, the students had planned an experience for us. And of course, it involved the Lusheng. And everyone had to try it, including me. it's much harder than it looks, so I picked up my camera instead. In the midst of it all, I began to reflect on the experience. My time in Taili has taught me that there's a lot you can learn from soccer. It can help you grow as a person, with the right coaches, of course. But in rural places like this, soccer has the potential to make a massive impact on your life. Perhaps getting you accepted into high school or college, but also just opening you up to new possibilities. In fact, I think I've also benefited from this sport. After meeting Kid at a soccer tournament, and then coming to this clinic, I've made friends with some very cool coaches. Then again, through soccer, I've had the pleasure of coming to Taili and meeting some wonderful people. But more than any of that, I got to spend time with some of the best students ever. Until next time, Taili, it's been great.
泰山石敢当。
那我们这样回去就会下午备课吧，然后到中午吃饭。